Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is beautiful. Trump and Mike Johnson just dropped a big bombshell that we have found leaked evidence, memos, messages on the Senate Democrats, and it is so bad for them. I love it. The Senate Democrats are being paid by donors to keep the government shut down. Leaked memos, messages reveal that Democrat Senator Jon Ossoff and other Senate Democrats won't vote to reopen the government because donors are paying them to keep it shut, stating their choice is between keeping it closed for $3 million or reopening it and losing fundraising, baby. We are catching it all. We're exposing this all, guys. We're hitting it. Hasn't even hit mainstream media, but you're hearing it first, guys. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support, because I'm telling you, we have the leaked memos, leaked messages that the reason a majority of the Democrats are keeping the government shutdown is $3 million in fundraising to certain individuals apiece. Guys, you can't make this stuff up. People behind the scenes, this corruption, this evil, is what's keeping the government shut down. They're paid off, and this is the corruption we are trying to overcome to drain the swamp. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is massive. Just announced this morning. Huge. We also have it where the Democrats are demanding talks on the healthcare funding, including, listen to this, you know that it's a bad deal when this is what they're fighting for, including money to offset Obamacare cost as part of any reopening deal. Obamacare was supposed to be the Affordable Care Act. Everybody's able to have health insurance. Everybody's able to afford it. It is the worst. And now we have to add more federal tax subsidies in order just to keep it alive so that the cost is even reasonable. Trump isn't budging. And even Speaker Mike Johnson came out and said that Chuck Schumer is begging for a shady backroom deal. Not happening. We also have it where, again, we're getting close, but food stamps are closely getting to the point of being defunded. There are thousands of videos going up online everywhere where people are threatening. Listen to this. You know that it's bad. You know that we've got a problem in the United States when people are threatening to start shoplifting and looting if they don't get their food stamps. And that's the government, and they said it's the government's job to feed my kids because I pay taxes. We fact checked them. Data shows that over 90% of people that receive SNAP food stamps don't pay taxes to the federal government. All this is entitlement. All this is laziness across the board. It's mind-blowing. People want to have 5, 6, 7 kids, but yet they don't want to take care of them. They don't want to pay for the cost to take care of them, and they think that it's everybody else's job to take care of their kids. We're getting a red wave to root out this laziness and entitlement. New North Carolina Senate just passed the 2026 congressional map, eliminating another Democratic House seat. There's also lots of pork that's in the bill that the Democrats want to enact, and it's their deal breakers, everybody. $3.9 million for LGBTQ plus democracy grants in the Balkans, $13.4 million for civic engagements in Zimbabwe, $2.9 million for a desert locust relocation in Africa. Fraud, waste, abuse. We don't want it. We're tired of it. Quit sending tens of millions of billions of dollars overseas when it should be going to our seniors. We have Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who is leading a 14-state coalition pushing the U.S. Election Assistance Commission to require birth certificates or passports for voter registration under federal law. We're getting there, everybody. There's petitions across blue states to enact voter ID, require birth certificates so that we can have free and fair elections. But the bombshell news today, leaked memos, leaked messages revealing that there are Democrats that won't vote to reopen the government because they've been threatened and told, listen to this, your choice is between keeping it closed for $3 million in fundraising or reopening it and we're cutting the funding. This is how messed up Congress is right now. We've got the receipts to show you today. It's all a big scam on the American people. Top breaking news today, everybody. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our subscribers and viewers. Y'all are the best. Thank you so much for your support. I just want to say thank you to those that give and help us in our giving. Today is the big day of our giving. At the end of the show, we are going to be donating to a local charity live on stream. Thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Want to give some special love to Elaine Demeen, OG of the channel, Joan Smith. Show Joan Smith some love in the chat. And again, show Joghaw some love in the chat. Thank y'all so much for your support. If you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting the thumbs up like button. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining the family, hitting that subscribe button. Ton of breaking news to go over today, guys, but I'm telling you, we are breaking and dismantling the deep state. It's every single day we get closer and we're bringing the receipts. I'm sick and tired of the wasteful, entitlement, laziness, hate America policies, and we're getting rid of them. Our boy Russ Vought, the OMB director, they're calling him Darth Vader now because he's coming to clean house. Listen to this.
The guy who just stepped foot into the White House makes Putin look like a cupcake.
We have Darth Vader. You know Darth Vader, right? Darth Vader is a man who, I think he's sitting right. Is that Darth? Stand up, please, Darth Vader. Stand up. Does everybody know? They call him Darth Vader. I call him a fine man. But he's cutting Democrat priorities, and they're never going to get him back.
Vader's taking a lightsaber to fat while Democrats keep the government closed. Fetterman says it feels like a different movie.
It's Groundhog Day, you know, and I'm just saying, and it's not entertaining. That's a great movie, but this is
Why won't Democrats just turn off the movie? They're holding everyone hostage.
A Democrat senator was speaking anonymously and admitted, quote, people are going to get hammered. Another insider said in that same story, quote, we would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine.
Radicals are having their way with
coming
Schumer,
out, y'all.
and there's nothing he can do about it.
I think he's mentally gone. He's been beat up by young, radical lunatics. And I think Chuck Schumer he's gonzo.
But it's not just the commie wing of the Democrats that they have to appease. Big insurance wants a payout.
What Democrats find themselves in a place is we've shut down the government to protect subsidies for an insurance marketplace that funnels $800 billion a year into the pockets of all these insurance companies.
That's what this shutdown's all about. Democrats want to give your money to donors and illegals, while the poorest of the poor Americans get scrooged. 42 million people could lose their food stamps if Schumer doesn't open up by Halloween. Schumer and Hips are still getting a paycheck, but poor families can't eat, and they're getting hangry.
Y'all better stay out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with cards and I'm not paying for Trump, if you won't start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke in this like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
Go ahead and start stealing from like grocery stores. Walmart already has enough money.
Since they want to take food stamps away, I'm going to Walmart. I'm going to rank up any damn Walmart, throw the right in the basket. I'm woman right about the move, get the out of my way. I'm not paying for a damn thing.
It's a hanger strike, and they're warning workers, don't get in our way.
Wow.
And a PSA to them retail workers during this hard time of what is going on in the world. I really don't advise y'all to try to chase after anybody that's trying to collect them some food for their family as they're walking out that door with that cart, because you might around and don't make it home.
Guys, I'm telling you, this is where we're at. This is insane. We're showing you now, what you're about to hear now is that we have got leaked memos, leaked messages. Democrats are being threatened with $3 million to keep the government shut down. You either keep it shut down. This is what the donors are telling them. Keep it shut down for $3 million, or if you reopen it, you're losing your funding. Listen to this, guys. You cannot make this stuff up. This stuff broke, and I'm so sick and tired of us being held hostage by backdoor people, lobbyists, or whoever that is controlling the United States. You've never even heard about them, yet they control what's going on. We're bringing you the breaking news. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. This is the real news that you don't see on mainstream media.
Another Democrat said Senator Ossoff's calculation is, quote, do I vote to open the government up and get crushed and can't raise a single dollar of low dollar money? Or do I vote to shut the government down and get $3 million from online fundraising? That's disgusting. Senator Ossoff is more concerned about getting low-dollar donations from maybe some donor in California who's going to click on an email and give him $100 for his reelection, and so he's causing suffering on tens of thousands of people in his home state of Georgia. Senator Ossoff ought to send that tainted, dirty money back. If he's raised $3 million off of the shutdown, off of the suffering he's caused, just so that he can get some more money from radicals around the country.
And I'm telling you, everybody, we're bringing you the receipts. There is so many videos that are coming out right now that are just showing where the base is at with the left party right now. And when you come out and all these people, I'm not going to play the video because there's a lot of cussing, everybody, but you can see it in here. They're threatening Trump, saying, you either pay for my food or I'm going to commit violence. Like, it's your job to pay for my food. And this is crazy. Like, it's like, what kind of America are we living in that this is the base that's supporting the Democratic Party, that all they want is handouts? Like, this is nuts. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Gina, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said they need you at the White House, Joel, to speak on their behalf. Caroline would be so happy to have you amongst the real reporters. God bless and keep it going. I love it. Hey, Gina, you're a true OG. Show Gina some love in the chat, as well as our boy Jeffrey Hatt with the super chat. Let's go. Keep it close so Trump can clean the deep state. Love True Life News and family. I love it. Y'all show Jeffrey and Gina some love. What we're seeing now is corruption. You just heard it. There is leaked memos, messages over people that are literally being paid to keep the government shut down, millions of dollars, get them out, drain the swamp. And this is why I want to go into our sponsor real quick, because the corruption is real. When the United States filed False Claims Act against, this is the U.S., against 3 national health insurance companies and 3 brokers alleging unlawful kickbacks and discrimination against disabled Americans over Medicare, this is where we have to fight it. And if you're on Medicare, guys, this is why we partnered with this, because if there is companies out there that are not doing their job to take care of our seniors, we need to rally together and help each other out. That's why we partner with Chapter. Chapter is free. They compare every single Medicare plan. They've saved seniors on average over $1,000 per year on their health insurance, guys. This is huge. And you just saw it. I just showed you. When we see the corruption that's out there, we need to partner together, help each other out. And this is free. The number is 667-895-3015. You call them up. You tell them Joel sent you from TrueLife News. They're going to get you taken care of. And I'm telling you, everybody, you hear me every single day. This company is amazing because they truly do a phenomenal job. They've helped out my own family. They've helped out so many others. And we see comments in the chat. We see comments across the board where people are being taken care of. If you're on Medicare, you're about to be on Medicare, we're in open enrollment. There's lots of things going on right now, and we want to make sure you're taken care of. So that's why, again, it's free. They compare every single Medicare plan. They can get this done in less than 20 minutes. You call them up, 667-895-3015. You'll get taken care of. I'm tired of seeing stuff like this where there's been unlawful kickbacks, discrimination against certain people when it comes to health insurance. that the United States, this is literally from the Office of Public Affairs, everybody, from the DOJ, that they're fighting against these companies that are not taking care of our own, and that's why we got to help each other out, partner together, because the fight is real. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because again, listen to this.
Lock your doors. They're not just going for the grocery aisle.
Let me not get my food stamps. I'm going back to stealing. I don't care. If you leave your car unlocked in the middle of the night, lock it. If I don't get no food stamps, believe me and mine's gonna eat regardless.
Cat Timms, a Fox News contributor.
cannot
I
make
don't think
this
it's
stuff
right.
up.
If Schumer and Hips and all these politicians, they get their paychecks, but they're going to cut food stamps for poor people?
Yeah, I think that of all the things the government could be spending money on, I think that this would be one of the more important ones. I think it's a tough look to say otherwise, right?
Yeah, and they're going to get really angry and really hungry, and some of these grocery stores might not look the same.
Is that
And this is the thing, everybody. We are hearing from all the back news right now of what's going on behind the scenes. We even had Speaker Mike Johnson say that Chuck Schumer is begging for a shady backroom deal. We have our guy, Steve Bannon, who has come out and said everything that's happening behind the scenes. Listen to this.
The activity going on. Also, just telling the Democrats, hey, if you open the vote to open the government, you come along and open the government, then I can sit down and have a discussion with you on other topics. I think this is absolutely, we're winning this shutdown. Why would we possibly fold now? This is all about illegal alien health care. American people can't afford that. American people don't support that. So you got the Democrats walking in this. Don't get them off the hook. When the media is talking about, oh, they ought to compromise and there got to be some discussions and got to be coming. No. The reason the media is doing that is they're partners in crime. And they realize the Democrats are getting hammered for this. The Democrats shut this down because of $1 trillion they want to spend over a number of years on illegal alien health care. And don't let them say, well, it's outlawed. That's not true. It is true. The illegal aliens, because they have to go to the emergency rooms, this is what pays for it. There should be no compromise on this whatsoever. We don't need to talk to any of the Democrats about anything. Everything they have is so radical, it's nothing to talk about. This is the way you play Smash Mouth. It's now time to break these folks. Because they're not getting less radical, they're getting more radical.
Yep.
And President Trump said it right there. Mamdani is the new face of the Democrat Party. Let him live with it. Marxist jihadist. And I don't know how this percentage of young Jewish kids or young Jewish people are voting for Mamdani in New York City. That shows me that the education system there ought to be shut down. President Trump, he has a whole lot of power when it comes to New York City. Don't think he's going to go along with this. If you vote for it, assume that your life's going to change, and we don't care if you hate Trump because it doesn't matter. We don't need New York. We won 3 times without New York. Yes, I said it. 2020 also. We won 3 times without New York, and Trump's going to win a 4th time without New York. So we love all the MAGA folks there, but New York City, Manhattan, hey, drop dead. You're about to elect a Marxist jihadist who hates America. We have no earthly idea who this guy is. He's been a citizen for 6 years. Have no idea where the money comes from. Qatar, the mom, the dad, shady characters. Of course, it's anti. They hate Americans. They hate American citizens. He's obviously very anti-white. He's the whole package. He's Sadiq Khan on testosterone. He will turn New York City into London. And for all the guys that talked all the big smack early on about, oh, we're going to do this and do that and defeat him, you guys look like morons right now. And you still got Curtis Sliwa in the picture, and people tweeting out that, isn't this a great? Isn't Curtis great? No, Curtis Sliwa is one of the problems. That ego narcissist. He's never going to be the mayor of New York. He's never come close to being the mayor of New York. In fact, I don't even know. Nobody even can explain to me what the guardian angels are. And yet, this is one of the guys. And Adams didn't get out quick enough, and people didn't come around enough. No.
Let me tell you this, everybody. The reason why this is going to be such a game changer is I'm bringing the receipts, everything that's happening. We're going to see a red wave one way or another. Senate the North Carolina Senate passes the 2026 congressional map, eliminating another Democratic seat from the House of Representatives by actually making fair representation for the state. This is big, everybody, and this is happening all across the United States. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is a big, big, big winner for America. And not only that, again, across the board, we are seeing the same consistent message. They cannot deny it anymore. Listen to this.
And is it time for Trump? I mean, he could be the person that just says, okay, let's get this done.
Well, how many Democrats have voted for the CR? It was good enough for them to vote on in March, and now something has changed, and they're not willing to vote on the same CR that they were once willing to support. And I think it's pretty clear that it's Schumer and a lot of Democrats who are bowing to the left flank of their party, people who want to see movement and want to see action. And their whole framework for why they should do this is really flawed. As Obama said, elections have consequences, and they basically want to undo the rightfully passed big, beautiful bill that the Republicans signed into law. That is what this whole effort that they are making. And yes, it's about healthcare, but there's also all kinds of pork actually that is in this bill. There's 3.9 million for LGBTQI plus democracy grants in the Balkans, 13.4 million for civic engagements in Zimbabwe, 2.9 million for desert locust relocation in Africa. And they're the ones who have time and time again, now after 11 votes, been unwilling to work with the GOP.
11 votes, guys. This is big. This is massive. That, again, you cannot negotiate with people soft on crime. Things like this, everybody. Especially, this is why North Carolina's fed up, and they just passed the redistricting. You've got a guy with 19 prior arrests, including assaults on multiple government employees. He's been arrested again, this time for shooting a 3-year-old, okay? This is the type of soft on crime policies we're dealing with, which is a joke. It is a joke to the hardworking, a slap in the face to the hardworking, law-abiding citizens. And this is why I love Hammer of Justice. Thank you so much for the super chat. What Hammer of Justice says, I have no problem paying for 3 square meals a day for jailbirds. Me either. When you got people, look, when you've been arrested 20 times in just horrible situations, you got a problem. But they keep letting these people back out on the streets. Hammer, y'all show Hammer of Justice some love in the chat, as well as our boy Victor Gastelum. Let's go. Welcome to the family. Show Victor some love in the chat. It is just mind-blowing, the amount of payoffs and just corruption is just out of this world, what we are showing you today. Listen to this.
SBA. But here's the question I've got. It's stunning, and this is why you got to watch the entire video. James actually in, and they're having meetings, and he's Willy Wonka. But this is a huge program. How was this program not gutted? We just had a $1.8 trillion deficit. We're looking at a $2 trillion deficit. The deconstruction administrative state, I thought that this was low-hanging fruit. How did we get to USAID and these others and miss this? This program is massive, and you just saw right there. It's both corrupt and incompetent, right? It's not even doing what it said to do. So how did this miss the axe of Russ vote?
Well, I'm not sure that it did. I mean, this just broke yesterday afternoon, yesterday evening, and we've got another one coming out tomorrow. Another employee in one of these firms. I'm gonna bring down the whole diseased temple, Steve Bannon. I've been working on this story for 9 months. I've got multiple videos inside these firms, and my understanding is Russ is aware of it. But to answer your question is why hasn't it been taken down is because everyone's making money off this. Everyone. And it seems like everyone, I've gotten 100 messages overnight. I stay up all night reading all these messages. Everybody is making money off of this 8A small business minority subcontracting scheme. The entire system is basically built on a facade. And so you basically have to tear it down brick by brick because the whole thing would collapse. If this is 5%, Steve, of the federal deficit, $2 billion, this is $100 billion. through these fraudulent 8A schemes.
Wow.
Walk me through. You said everybody's making money. And this, as you know, in this town, that's what drives things. Well, just walk me through that for a second.
Well, this is the goal of this 8A program is to assist small disadvantaged businesses through business development. And you have to sub out the work to an organization. And you're supposed to do more than 51% of the work if you're subbing the work out to a subcontractor. What actually happens is these primes are doing no work, and it's just a pass-through scheme. And then they take a share of the funds. So this happens everywhere. I've gotten messages from military contractors, from construction contractors. These people and these 8A firms aren't even minority owned. This is a super 8A, so it's supposedly Native American owned. But it's actually, the CEO is actually a white guy named Firmage Crutchfield. So these schemes are happening on a massive level. They're well intended. They're supposed to help, quote unquote, disadvantaged groups. But like most DEI programs, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Wow.
Hold it, but hang on. There's supposed to be minority-run organizations. How do you have a white guy as the head guy?
That's a great question. But let me ask you an even deeper question. How the hell does that individual who's director of contracts, whose father and mother worked for the FBI, how does she not know that I'm James O'Keefe? So these are questions. So I mean, it's incompetent. It's corrupt. It's a joke, is what it is. And I think that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, now, in your 9-month investigation, how much did you go? Because this is like back to your original thing when Andrew Breitbart was so blown away about what you got on Acorn or some of the other things. You would go in and be at the tip of the spear. When you put out these other videos, were you an active participant in the investigation, like we saw you here in your Willy Wonka outfit throughout the investigation?
Yeah, I mean, we had to set up. This was not a honeypot. This was not a dating app. We had to set up a fake website, pose as headhunters, and with our own 8A business. This is a very sophisticated investigation. This was not something that was done overnight. This individual apparently had a side hustle, some type of catering company she did on weekends. So we posed as a group, an 8A group, met with her under the pretense that we were buying her catering. And then 10 minutes into the conversation, she admits that her subcontract company, 8A firm, is engaged in fraud. So we had to come up with a reason to meet with her. And then we met in a Arlington, Virginia restaurant with hidden cameras. Let me go back to what you said about these 8A firms. It's a huge scam, and it's happening across the country everywhere. And I think a lot of the problems is that you take away these programs, you take away a lot of people's money. You take away a lot of people's mansions, a lot of people's yachts. At the end of the day, it's about money, and it's a huge scam. But we do have news. The head of the SBA last night, the head of the SBA putting out a statement that the SBA has launched an investigation into this company, and they're conducting a full review of the 8A program designed to help these DEI. And in February, the SBA took immediate action to slash contracting. So we hope that Russ and Pam are watching and they actually reform the system, because the time is now.
O'Keefe.
Let me tell you this, everybody. If this is literally like the amount of corruption, we're barely getting to the bottom of it. It all starts with who's in office. And that's why what I'm showing you now is so important. 14 GOP states demand proof of citizenship to register to vote. Texas AG Ken Paxton is leading a 14-state coalition pursuing the U.S. Election Assistance Commission to require birth certificates or passports for voter registration under federal law. So this is happening, again, 2026 midterms, 2028 presidential election. Super important that this is going on behind the scenes. If you appreciate our news, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Mama Sage, let's go with the super chat. Show Mama Sage some love in the chat, as well as Patty Razor said, "Wreck, I love it. Let's go." Show Patty Razor, Mama Sage, member of the channels, some love in the chat. Again, this breaking news, we literally have people that we know are being paid off to keep the government shut down. It's about dang time that we expose them all. I'm telling you, It's so corrupt, and we're barely scratching the surface. We are barely, what, 8 months, 9 months into Trump's presidency? Are you kidding me?
Welcome, everybody. Day 21 of the Democrat shutdown. It's now 3 weeks since the Democrats have decided to close the entire federal government. I mentioned yesterday when we were gathered that this is now the longest full shutdown in American history. And yet again, Senate Democrats voted for the 11th time, 12 times overall, when you count House and Senate Democrats, to prolong the pain and keep the government closed. So we want to talk very briefly with you this morning about what that means, and then we're going to give you a little update on the Epstein matter. So far, this is what it means. So far, what this shutdown has caused to the economy and to the people of this country is really unconscionable. The U.S. economy has now lost hundreds of billions of dollars. We have federal workers who are desperate for pay and uncertain when they will get their next paycheck. You got families wondering if they'll go without food assistance next month because many people rely upon that. New federal loans and disaster aid have come to a complete halt, and the stewards of our nuclear defense stockpile are being sent home on furlough. Think of the implications of all this. All of it hurts the economy, it hurts our national security, and it hurts the American people, and the Democrats seem not to care. I was watching Republican Senate Majority Whip Barrasso this morning on an interview, and he said it, I think, very succinctly. He said the Democrats are practicing the politics of pain. I'm not sure I could say that any better. That's exactly what it is. And you think of what's happening right now. Think of what they have demanded in exchange as a ransom, the hostage they've taken to reopen the government. They're demanding taxpayer-funded health benefits be restored to illegal aliens. They're demanding that we spend billions of dollars overseas for ridiculous programs that the American people do not support. They want to claw back the $50 billion that we just got signed into law on July 4th to support our rural hospitals and all sorts of other crazy things. They're demanding taxpayer-funded health benefits for illegal aliens instead of agreeing to pay our men and women in uniform and provide vital health services and all the things that our most vulnerable Americans depend upon. It is unforgivable. And this is an indisputable fact. Everybody can see this, and everybody in this room knows what I'm about to say is true. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries are terrified of their far left base in New York and around the country. So they have given in to their demands to shut down the government so that they themselves can get the left's approval and somehow salvage their political careers. That is the whole story in one sentence, okay? That's why Schumer said shamelessly that every day of the shutdown gets better for us. Who's the us? He's talking about he and Hakeem and the Democrats who are afraid of the far left base. So today I want to put a finer point on some of the very real consequences we're seeing and what they mean for Americans around the country. And I'll zoom in on some of these key Democrat states where the senators continue to dig their heels in and vote against opening the government. Yesterday from NBC News, here's the headline: air traffic control staffing issues cause flight delays across the country. The Secretary of Transportation said 53% of flight delays are now due to staffing issues, and usually that number is 5%. From Colorado, food banks face growing crises as shutdown impacts become a reality. That's the headline from Sky High News. What are Colorado's two Democrat senators doing? You've got Hickenlooper and Bennett. They have both now voted 11 times to keep the government closed. Virginia. Here's the headline yesterday, KSL. Virginia employees fear shutdown's impact on veterans' medical care. And meanwhile, there are two Democrat senators, Tim Kaine and Mark Warner, have voted repeatedly to put their thumb in the eye of those veterans, and they won't end this pain. From Hawaii, Hawaii News Now says, headline, government shutdown impacts telehealth for seniors in Hawaii. Seniors in Hawaii rely upon telehealth. Guess who's shutting it down? There are two Democrat senators, Brian Schatz and Mazie Hirono, voted again and again to keep the government closed and disrupt the health services for seniors in their own state. They've got a lot to answer to. From California, here's a headline, ABC 7 News. Alameda food banks step in to help TSA workers, families impacted by government shutdown. That is disgusting. And both.
Let me tell you this, everybody. Again, we're not even on the same spectrum of what we honor, what we do, what we're trying to uplift when it comes to the MAGA versus the Democrats right now. This just happened. LA honored an illegal alien doxing ICE agents on TikTok. Los Angeles Councilman Curran Price awarded illegal alien Richard LA for doxing ICE agents on TikTok. Richard has made a career out of live streaming ICE operations in LA. He even rammed his vehicle into an ICE agent during a targeted immigration stop. Yet this guy gets honored. Like, are you even kidding me? We're not living in the same reality, the same world. And this is why, again, too, everybody, I appreciate it so much when you share our videos, you like our videos, because you do not get to a common sense reality when stuff like this is happening. Kathy Brewer, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Show Kathy some love in the chat. Say good morning, True Life News fam. Bring it, Joel. I've been missing the live stream. It is so good to be here. Kathy, we appreciate you so much. Show Kathy some love in the chat. OG of the channel. And don't forget to show our girl Gina some love in the chat for her super chat. This right here, I'm telling you, everybody, is happening across the spectrum. We're continuing to show you what is happening in reality, how much we're fighting this. And again, Trump's not playing around. From the leading report, Trump administration has now issued $9.6 billion in fines to illegal aliens who have not self-deported. We want to make sure we do things right. And we know, guys, that, hey, what if they have families? What if they have all this? Right now, we had an invasion that happened under our previous president, and we got to clean things up.
California Senators Padilla and Schiff have voted 11 times to block the pay of those TSA agents and their families, the paychecks they rely upon. From Illinois, WIFR, yesterday, federal courts in northern Illinois reduce operations due to government shutdown. The courts are reducing operations, and you've got Illinois Democrats. Senators Duckworth and Durbin have voted to keep the government closed. We can do this all day long. That's a sample. Democrats used to care about the harm that shutdowns caused hardworking Americans, but now we can all see very clearly that was always based on politics and not principle, because they have thrown the principle out the window. And yesterday, there was an article from The Hill that laid bare that very fact. A Democrat senator was speaking anonymously and admitted, quote, people are going to get hammered as they vote for the House passed bill to reopen the government. The clean, nonpartisan CR, they're going to get hammered. Another insider said in that same story, quote, we would have enough votes to reopen the government if people were not terrified of getting the guillotine, okay? They mean it metaphorically, but in a political sense, that's exactly what they're concerned about. And think about the fact that we're just laying out here. These are simple facts. We come out here every morning and remind the American people of what's going on. Do not let them distract you from the facts. The American people would have an open government if Democrats were not terrified of their radical base. That is the headline. Every single one of you should write that. That's the ugly truth. The Democrats are not governing in good faith. They're covering their own tail. They're out here decrying the so-called forthcoming health care crisis, they say. It's the one that they themselves created. The Democrats created Obamacare. They're the ones that created a subsidy with an expiration date. They're the ones that did all of this. Republicans are trying to fix it. And they're trying to blame Republicans for the crisis they themselves created. They cry foul when we won't bail them out of their own shutdown. I don't have anything to offer, as I've explained. I don't have any partisan priority.
That's the worst thing about this, everybody, is that the only reason that they're fighting so hard is because Obamacare has to be subsidized. It was supposed to be the Affordable Care Act. It was supposed to be something that actually makes it easier on Americans. But what we have found out, and it has been revealed, this is all happening, guys, that the Democrat Senator John Ossoff and other Democrats won't vote to reopen the government because donors are paying them to keep it shut, stating their choice is between keeping it closed for $3 million or reopening it and losing fundraising. I'm telling you guys, we're dropping the receipts today. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. Andy, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. said Governor Newsom of California press office gets backlash after posting an anti-Semitic cartoon of Trump and Stephen Miller. This shows how he feels about Jews who go against the liberal agenda. I'm telling you, it's disgusting. We need to hold them accountable. But I love it again, too. Everybody, we're dropping the facts. Thank you so much, Andy. Show Andy some love in the chat, helping us out. Let's go.
Pull off of the CR to make it more palatable for them. There's nothing to negotiate. They just have to do what they've always done in the past, that they did 13 times during the Biden administration, and they did as recently as March of this year, to open the government so that people can get their services and their paychecks. And they go before cameras incredibly, and they just lie to the American people over and over. It's a stunning thing to watch. It's time to stop the political games. The Democrats have got to stop this so that we can get back to the work here. For the sake of the American people, I hope they do. I hope Democrats finally come to their senses soon and the pain will end so we can reopen the government and get back to the hard work here. Let me say this. Now, while congressional Democrats continue their dangerous political games, the bipartisan House Committee on Oversight is conducting its investigation into the heinous crimes of Jeffrey Epstein. And it has continued. It has not stopped during the government shutdown. You have some of the, as I like to say, some of the toughest bulldogs in Congress on the Republican and Democrat side who are united in this cause for maximum transparency of the Epstein files. I'm for that. Chairman Comer is for that, the Oversight Committee chair. You'll hear from him in a moment. All these leadership team are, all the Republicans in the House are for maximum transparency and always have been. My good friend, Chairman James Comer, is going to give you an update on that shortly, but I just want to make a couple of key points very clearly before I bring him up here. Congressional Democrats are rudderless right now. I don't know how else to describe it. They don't have a message. They don't have a leader. They don't have any identifiable set of policy solutions for the problems facing the American people. Their party continues to hit all-time historic lows in poll after poll after poll, and many of you have reported on that. These are objective facts. They're utterly lost as a party, and everybody can see it. So what are they doing? They see a shiny object, and they latch onto it. Democrats did not say one word about the Epstein files for the entire Biden presidency. They had all the files in the Biden DOJ. They didn't say a word about it. 4 years, not a word. And suddenly now they somehow convince themselves that the Epstein files will be damaging to President Trump and Republicans in some way that they've imagined. And so they feign outrage. Let me be very clear about this. I've met with some of the Epstein victims, some of these brave women who've come forward. They were here on Capitol Hill, as you all know. We heard their stories. It's gut-wrenching. It's disgusting what they've been made to go through, and they bravely came forward. We're working around the clock to ensure the justice is served, and also as part of the oversight to figure out why justice has been delayed for so long. All credible information we will ensure is released to the public, and we also, at the same time, are fulfilling our responsibility to protect the innocent victims. By the witnesses' own testimony, these ladies who've come forward, they estimate there may be as many as 1,000 young women who were subjected to these heinous crimes. And many of them have chosen not to come forward and show their faces and reveal their names because it would compound the harm that they've already suffered. And so we want to protect those people. That's the sum total of all of this. That's our responsibility. And short of that, we want maximum transparency. And that is exactly what the American people are getting right now. That oversight investigation, they're working around the clock. And here's what the latest update, if you're not keeping track. They have now subpoenaed and released 43,000 pages of documents. They have subpoenaed and released DOJ and Epstein estate documents with more to come. They've issued 11 deposition subpoenas, and they've released Bill Barr's deposition transcript. Just a few days ago, they released the transcript from the interview with Alexander Acosta. They requested and begun to receive suspicious activity reports from the Treasury Department, and the department is fully cooperating in that. And they published letters from Eric Holder, Merrick Garland, and James Comey stating they had no knowledge or information related to the committee's investigation. Those documents include the ones that were released on Friday of last week, okay? The Epstein estate documents include his personal phone logs, his travel logs, his financial records, the ledgers that many people have been wanting to see, and even his daily calendar. The investigation and continued document release is ongoing even as we speak. And let me say this clearly as well. The bipartisan House Oversight Committee is already accomplishing what the discharge petition, that gambit, sought, and much more. The Epstein estate files that have been this new treasure trove, the third batch of information released right now, was not even included in the discharge petition. Didn't even think of it. And again, the investigation is bipartisan, it's nonstop, and it's far broader in scope than what is covered by the discharge petition and has already yielded significant results. Unfortunately, some Democrats and sadly even a couple of Republicans have tried to make this a political issue. They seem to be more interested in trying somehow to lay a glove on the president than in securing justice for these victims, and I think that is shameful.
Let me tell you this, everybody. The stuff that you're about to hear next, it's just mind-blowing how much is going on behind the scenes, stuff that you never hear about. But it's all this stuff that adds up, and we're showing it to you right here. Again, they're trying multiple ways to end this government shutdown. But because of nefarious actors, because it's all about the money, it's always all about the money, this is where we again are fighting against the corruption. We're fighting against the evil of just trying to, listen, when you've got your base like this that is threatening with violence, criminal activity, and hostility, this is what this whole thing says. Look, I turn this off, but you can read here. Everybody, they're going off because guess what? You don't give me what I want, then I get violent. And that's what we're seeing now. And it's again, time and again, we're seeing more violence and all, what are we trying to do? What are we trying to do of just actually putting America first? The Democrats are getting blamed finally for this stupid shutdown. And this is where Trump is coming in to show everybody America First policies are what's going to happen no matter what.
Already, it is the third longest in U.S. history. House Speaker Mike Johnson calling out Democrats, saying they're being held back from their far left of their party. Listen.
Real Americans are hurting, and it is so frustrating to us, Cheryl, because the contrast here is so clear. The Democrats voted it down. They've done it now almost a dozen times, as you said, because they're playing partisan games. They filed a counterproposal. Let's not let anybody forget what they filed as their counter offer. Their CR is not a clean one, it's a dirty one, because they want to spend $1.5 trillion new dollars on all sorts of wasteful programs, including $200 billion to fund health care benefits on the backs of American taxpayers for illegal aliens.
Democrats blocked the GOP funding bill for a 12th time last night. Liz, I'm just wondering if Democrats continue to believe that they're not being stuck with this shutdown at all, and it's going to be a big boost for them leading into the midterms. Do you think that? And by the way, you've got some late news on Fetterman as well.
Yeah, Fetterman's calling for the GOP to start to nuke the filibuster and force a vote basically on this. I think what's interesting, David, if you look at the polling week by week, Democrats have lost ground. They're still held accountable by fewer Americans than the GOP. I think I'm saying that backwards. GOP is blamed by more Americans than is the Democrats right now, but it's like by 6 points. It was 10 last week, and I think Democrats are seeing the end of this game. It's not working for them anymore. I think that actually the messaging from Republicans about the illegal health care, I think that's kind of resonated.
Right. Yep.
And it was a good pushback because Democrats own health care. That's always where they poll best. It was smart of them to latch on to that. But I think a lot of people are saying, well, wait a minute. First of all, Obamacare is only 7% of the country. So am I really going to be on the hook for whatever it costs to fund that
Not to mention
subsidy?
the illegals getting my tax money to pay for their and Jackie, I'm looking at the president right now. His polling numbers actually have been up, not much, but by 1 percentage point since the shutdown began. That compares to the shutdown during his first administration, where his poll numbers went down. Now they're going up, and it's pretty obvious all of the successes that he's had, the peace plans, not just the one in the Mideast, but a pending one in Ukraine, the China economic deal. I mean, there's so many things that he's been doing that have held up his numbers. I don't think he's particularly worried about this.
I don't think so at all. And I think that, people look at the president and what the Republicans are doing right now with regard to the shutdown and saying, you're doing what I voted for you to do, which is to fight back against crazy, reckless spending. We talked about the big, beautiful law and how we wanted to see spending be curtailed more, but it was tricky. You were playing politics with a lot of different states that, as we've said, once you give things, it's very hard to take them away. And this particular issue on healthcare is very important because the big, beautiful bill tried to scale back Medicaid a little bit to make sure that illegal aliens that are not supposed to be on the rolls are not on the rolls, or that there are work requirements for young men, for example, who are sitting in the basement doing nothing and trying to collect from the government. And so they're trying to undo what was done through legislation and hold the president and the Republicans hostage here. The other piece of it, the Obamacare piece, is we can't just keep spending recklessly, to your point, on and on and on. So I see this issue as a huge issue with respect to, you know, where we're going altogether, not just about healthcare, but it's like to spend or not spend. And at some point, there's not $1.5 trillion that I'm aware of that's just sitting around that will be able to fund this right now.
This is so beautiful, everybody, what we're exposing to you today. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, this is big, big, big stuff. Restoring public trust. So right now, across the country, we're trying to get a red wave. We're trying to make sure MAGA continues. We're trying to make sure that we have accountability, free and fair elections. Over 300,000 Californians have signed to a petition to require voter ID in the state's elections in a Republican-led effort. They got to get to 1 million. When they get to 1 million, then they actually have a 50-50 shot to actually get voter ID enacted when it's 1 million. Guys, this is massive. So think about it. When you're in California, the largest state in the United States, the one that receives the most federal funding, almost $700 billion a year, the 5th largest GDP in the world, if we get voter ID, that state turns red without a shadow of a doubt. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much, Jim Barbato. Let's go, brother, with the super chat. I love it. OG of the channel. Show our brother Jim some love in the chat. Love the GIF. Having a good time. Today's, remember, the big giving day to a local charity. We love it. Show Andy some love in the chat. Said world news crippled. Canadians now pressured to be euthanized as part of a routine doctor visits. This is coming here to as described by the Obamacare protocol. That's, I'm telling you, they said, I think by 2028 or 2030 that euthanization in Canada will be the leading cause of death. Guys, I'm telling you, crazy stuff is happening. Show our boy Andy some love in the chat, as well as Jim. And it's all the leftist progressive ideologies. Let's just get to common sense. That's all we want, everybody.
And Brian, then you have Trump's secret weapon, and that's the OMB chief, Russ Vought, who now he's been pushed back by the court saying you can't fire people willy-nilly. We'll see how that plays out in the long run. But in the meantime, he's chipping around the edges. He's commanded the Army Corps of Engineers to pull back on programs, surprise, surprise, in some blue cities in Boston, New York, and elsewhere. So there are opportunities, I think, that the president sees here.
Yep. Time is on the Republican side, right? Here you have the president, right? The president is not shut down. He's still working. Every day, Americans see him working. So they're not saying that, you know, the president has shut down the government. He's working. He's saying, who really shut down the government? And then you've got Speaker Johnson and John Thune out there, Thune putting a vote down basically every day, right? Every day or every other day, Democrats are voting against reopening. And Speaker Johnson every day is up there saying the same thing. We want to open the government. They're winning the messaging. They're winning the visual of the president being active. And I agree with you. They're also winning the argument of these guys can't make a budget. Our government's too big. Let's shrink it down. And I just wonder, you know, like outside of D.C. and, you know, these coastal circles, how much are most Americans really feeling what's going on in D.C. right now? My guess is they're not feeling it as much as the Democrat leadership likes to talk about. Right. And they're saying, if we don't feel it, how much of it do we really need?
Yeah, yeah. Right? Well, Kenny Polcari, another group that's not feeling it, are investors. Look what's happening right now with the Dow, up another 326 points right now.
Right. So the market is not focusing on it. To them, it's just noise. The government shutdown is noise. The market's much more focused on the middle of earnings, which we are now, and we got another great report out of Coca-Cola and a number of other ones. I think we're running at 85% of companies that have reported so far have beaten on both the top and bottom lines, and that suggests, and they're not giving really cautious guidance. I think Coke was the first one I heard that was maybe a little bit nervous, but for the rest of them, they're giving a robust guidance, which just tells you that they're feeling good about the economy, which then leads me to ask, we've got this robust economy with sticky inflation. Why are we going to cut rates again next week? I'm not seeing it, but one way or the other, investors are not at all nervous.
And by the way, because of the tax changes that you were able to deduct some of the charges for building factory or buying equipment back to January 20th, you're beginning to see stuff that isn't quite online yet. Are companies expecting that to come online in another boom?
Well, I think they're certainly expecting it to come online. The speed at which it's going to happen, I'm not sure yet, because it takes a lot to get all that stuff built. But we are on our way to doing it, and that's what the market is telling you. Investors are very, very excited about what's happening.
All right, well, there's other stuff.
And I want to show you this too, everybody, because things are getting real right now. There's two things I want to show you, and it's mind-blowing because this is actually a reality. It makes me sick to think about it, or to even, like, the violence that is coming and against people is just, it's disgusting. Mike Johnson came out and said, I will say that anybody who threatens political violence against elected officials or anyone else should have the full weight and measure of the Department of Justice on their head. In it, 100%, lock them up. No more violence. I'm sick and tired of the violence. But it's, again, when you have a party or you have a group of people that believe in one certain way of operating or think that certain things are okay, like this right here, the drag queen story hours, these drag queen parties where they bring fully grown men dressed up provocatively, dancing provocatively, putting kids like this out there and dancing. Look at this. Like, if you think this is okay, you got a problem. And this is not America. This is not okay. This is not common sense. Guys, this is what's coming from one side of the party. And that's why we got to fight against it more than ever. Because I'm sick and tired of seeing corruption and evil win. There's too many hardworking Americans. There's too much people that are trying to fight against this right here. The type of violence that we've seen. And do things the right way. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. OG of the channel, he said, Joe, Indonesia for the kid. Let's go. I love it. Show Andy some love in the chat, everybody. And again, trust me, there's things that they're trying to do to pay essential workers, trying to put bills forth, making sure to do things a certain way. Listen to this.
Joining us now, a man of facts, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson. Senator, great to see you. Your reaction to this referral from Congressman Jim Jordan and what you know based on your work on this very issue?
Well, I'd like to see John Brennan on trial. I do realize that no matter what we charge him with, the penalties won't even come close to compensating America for the damage he and people like Clapper, and quite honestly, under the guidance of Obama and Biden, James Comey, McCabe, I mean, that whole cast of their merry band of radical leftists, the damage they've done to this country, the interference in the election. China and Russia could only dream of harming America more than these people have done. So you'll never be able to charge them with a crime where the penalty is going to rise to making up for the damage they've done to this country.
Senator, what do you say to the former CIA director when he says that this is just the president being vindictive, that this is just a political vendetta and he's settling scores and he did nothing wrong?
Again, one of the reasons it'd be nice to have a trial, but I'd like a trial on all the things he did so that the public would see all the evidence of literally what a criminal John Brennan is, what a liar he is, what a political hack he is. He's awful. Again, I can't really think of somebody who's done more damage to this country politically than John Brennan, but again, he had a whole cast of characters that helped him as well.
Senator, I want to move on to your bill to immediately pay federal employees who've been working with no pay during this shutdown will go up for a vote. A majority leader in the Senate, John Thune, will essentially force the hand and put the feet of these Democrats to the fire. How do you see this playing out? Have you had any conversations with Democrats who, I think 3 voted for the CR, Angus King, Catherine Cortez Mastro, and then John Fetterman. Is anybody else at least moving toward paying people for work?
I do know they don't want to vote on this, which gives me some hope that maybe tomorrow they'll come to their senses and just vote for the clean CR and open up government. But if they don't do that, they sure ought to vote to just pay people that are being forced to work because we deem them essential. Again, this is common sense, it's common courtesy. I can't imagine any excuse any Democrat would have for not voting for a simple bill. It's called the Shutdown Fairness Act, and all it says is if you are deemed an accepted worker, which means you're essential, you're protecting America, you're writing Social Security checks, we say you're essential, you have to work, we'll give you a paycheck. We're going to pay them anyway. We already have a law that provides everybody back pay, so let's do it up front. Let's not make wives go to food banks. Let's not make people drive DoorDash so they can pay for their daughter's tuition. We're hearing reports of that kind of stuff. That's unconscionable. It's all up to Democrats to make sure that doesn't happen. The best way, just open up the government, vote for the House CR. If you're not willing to do that, the Eliminate Shutdowns Act would be a great act as well, but in the meantime, we vote on Shutdown Fairness Act, and let's just pay people for working.
Yeah, and Dagan asked Kelly Loeffler this a little bit ago on the show. How far are Democrats going to push people? How painful are they going to make it, not just for government employees, but anyone who relies on some of these shutdown government services?
And I want to show you this again, everybody, this is from Right Angles News Network. It's been revealed that the Democrat Senator Jon Ossoff and other Senate Democrats won't vote to reopen the government because donors are paying them to keep it shut, stating their choices between keeping it closed for $3 million or reopening it and losing fundraising. Are you even kidding me? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm just like blown out of my mind. We're getting all this leaked info, leaked messages. We're bringing you the breaking news. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, thank you so much for your support. And everybody, give it up for our boy Andy in the chat. Thank you so much, brother, for your support. OG of the channel, just giving, helping us in our blessings to the innocent kids that need it the most. Brother, we appreciate you so much. Appreciate and thank you for all your blessings. Show Andy some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much, brother, for your support.
Well, if you had a legacy media that held Democrats' feet to the fire the way they would be holding Republicans' feet to the fire if we were causing this shutdown, this would have been over a long time ago. Probably never would have happened. But unfortunately, you've got the legacy media, basically the mouthpiece of the Democrat Party. And plus, because they're not making an issue of it, most Wisconsinites don't even realize the government shut down. Most of the government still operates, okay? And thank God most of these workers are still working without their paychecks, but that's not going to go on forever. I mean, the choke point will be things like air traffic control. So, again, hopefully Democrats come to the senses and open up the government. If not, at least vote for the Shutdown Fairness Act and pay people that we're forcing to work.
Something at play is they think the shutdown helps Abigail Spanberger. That's what they're up against. And so if it helps her and that person running for lieutenant governor down in the Commonwealth who wanted, his political opponent to die along with their kids, if it helps them, they'll keep the government shut down. Senator Ron Johnson, great to see you, sir.
Let me tell you this, everybody, and it's across the networks. We even got our boy Scott Jennings, who again lays out the truth bombs to everybody. I just love this because everybody needs to hear the truth, even people that watch CNN.
Here's what I think. The president said today he'd be happy to meet with the Democrats if they stop holding the government hostage. They could easily walk in there tonight, pass the CR, give us 7 weeks. The president brings everybody together. And my strong belief is that they would wind up negotiating on a number of issues, and they would come to an agreement. The president doesn't want to negotiate under duress. In the Hill today, a Democrat senator anonymously said, none of us want to vote to open the government because, quote, we'd face the guillotine. That's their words from our base.
Yeah, look, I think you just made a very...
Right there, everybody. It's money. It's always about the money. It's always about what their donors and all them are forcing them to do. They're not truly serving we the people. They're serving donors that got money. And that's the messed up part about all this that we're showing you today. If you're watching, you're not subscribed, please consider hitting that subscribe button. And just want to say thank you to everybody who supports us. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. This is a big, big day today. You know, when you give on this channel and you support TrueLife News family, you support us in our giving. So we partner with you and we give to local charities across the United States. And it makes me super happy because, again, too, we're transparent. I'm about to show you just a moment. We're going to go through and we're going to make a donation to this Tennessee Children's Home. The services that they provide in helping out those that need it the most, helping out kids that don't got any homes, and what their mission is. And you can go look them up. The URL is TennesseeChildren'sHome.org. Tennessee Children's Home is committed to improving the lives of those we influence through quality services in a Christian atmosphere. They're here to serve the will to learn to live healthy physical, mental, social, and Christian lives for these kids that ain't got nobody. And I love it because they got multiple campuses. They do amazing things. Their services, residential care, education, alcoholic and drug treatment, counseling, spiritual guidance, in-home care. And again, I love it because with today's donation, and I thank everybody that's given today, we're going to give y'all some love at the end of this. But thank you that today's donation today puts us over the past year that we've been given every month, on the 22nd of every month, y'all, that in the past year we've given over $50,000 to local charities. Show some love in the chat. Hit the thumbs up like button, guys. You're about to see me here donating today. We're going to making a donation of, drum roll, $2,100 live on stream to this local charity, Tennessee Children's Home, guys. And this is what I love. We're going to send it to Please Use Where Needed the Most. We're going to dedicate this in honor of, we want to recognize the TrueLife News family. And this is, I'm going to put here TrueLife News YouTube channel. This is something that it means the world to me because we're able to give this amount. You see it right here. We're going to move into the giving portion. You already know my name, but this is my personal information right here. I'm going to switch back to me real quick and have this filled out, but I'm going to show you the receipt in just a moment because, again, too, when we look at the amount of impact that we are making with this channel, it is, to me, such a blessing to be able to bring together a group of people and us to be able to do this together. And I love it because I couldn't do it without you. And again, this stuff that we're doing, and I'm showing you right here again, making sure there's no information. Look, this is the total gift of $2,100. We're about to put in the card information. It's all because of you all. It's all because of you. And we're so thankful because we could not do it without you. And we want to give so much thanks to everybody that's given. We're hitting the give button right now. I'm about to show you the receipt, everybody. Just make sure there's none right here on screen. Thank you, Joel. Your gift of $2,100 will make a difference to the children's home. Let me see if I can bring this down just a little. No, I can't. It doesn't matter on that. This is all because of you. And I want to give some special love. If I try to give as much love as I can to everybody that gives. Look, right here. Tennessee Children's Home. You can go look it up yourself. We just donated $2,100. Thank you to everybody that's given. I want to give some special love to Grandma Bonnie Morris. Thank you so much for your support. Our boy, Mr. Tracy J. Norby. Chris Prez. Thank you so much, brother. Jogo. PDX67. Those that have helped out in the chat. Alice Lewis. Thank you so much, April Green. Thank you so much, Joe DeVito. Lisa Anderson. Gina. Thank you so much. Andy, brother, thank you so much today for your support. We appreciate you so much. Thank you so much, Jog Haws, for the super chat. Our boy, Jeffrey Hatt. Thank you so much, Hammer of Justice, Victor Gaustelum. Jesus is Lord. Amen. Mama Sage, Patty Razor, Kathy Brewer, OG of the channel, Lori Rapier, our boy, Jim Barbato, OG of the channel. Thank y'all so much. Robert Cash. To everybody that gives, to everybody that supports us in our giving, we cannot thank you enough. We've officially given over $50,000 live on stream with your support, and we want to keep growing this. Like I said, this is the actual receipt from Tennessee Children's Home. It means the world to us that, again, you support us in our giving. You like our videos. You share our videos. This is something that, and I even want to pull this up too. It's got my information, personal information below this, but you can see transaction placed on the date 10/22/2025, 1:18 p.m., $2,100, total gift $2,100 to Tennessee Children's Home. That this is all because of you. And just want to say thank you so much. When you like our videos, you share our videos, you subscribe, we want to continue to grow our giving. We love you all. Appreciate you so much. We couldn't do this without you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.